everybody, thanks so much for tuning in for my latest Best in Beauty video. These are some of my favorite products from the past month, and a lot of these face products that I realize I pulled as my favorites this month, a lot of them I think pertain to kind of glowing skin. So a nice transition, I guess, from winter into spring, getting a nice soft glowing complexion, and my top favorite, like if I could give an award to the favorite of all favorites in this video, it's something I've been using all the time and loving so much. It's my Milani Bronzer XL. This is in the shade Fake Tan. You may have seen this used in my Milani One Brand tutorial, and I just love this. The more I use it, the more I like it, the more I come up with little tricks for using it best. I really loved the Revlon Photo Ready bronzer from the drugstore, but that's kind of being discontinued. So that's sad, I'm gonna miss that one, but this one is really, I think, filling its shoes nicely. You've got a really great deep matte cool tone bronzer, so this is really great just alone for contouring anywhere you want to contour. And then this other shade, which I thought, you know, maybe I won't use that very much. It's got like a little bit of a glow. It's more of a sunny goldeny bronzer. I actually use this a lot too. I'll just dust that lighter shade like all over, you know, center of the forehead, tops of my cheeks, wherever the sun might naturally hit. It's such a big pan. I also take like my really fluffy kabuki brush and I just go into everything and apply it all over my neck and décolleté area. And it's just been a great all-purpose bronzer. I would completely recommend this. I think even if you're, you know, lighter skin tone than I am, I think you would still really enjoy how cool this bronzer is. Doesn't take a lot, but yet you don't have to be like insanely careful with it either. So I've just been loving that. Another thing, and if I was going in order here of application, this would be applied before the bronzer, but I've been reaching for my MAC Mineralize Skinfinish Natural a lot. Whether I'm using this on top of foundation like I am today, or maybe I've just, you know, put on some concealer and I want a quick foundation, this has been really great. I am the shade Medium Plus. It's the kind of product that I wonder if I'm ever going to use this up, because I feel like I have, you know, over the past couple years used this a lot, but it's one of those domed kind of baked products, and I find that those do last a really long time. But this gives a really nice finish on the skin. You know, it's definitely not shimmery, but I think for anyone who just doesn't want their skin to come off looking too dry or too flat, this is just a really nice step on top of foundations. And if you want to get the most coverage out of it, I've actually been using this little brush from Eco Tools, or e.l.f. makes a great flat top brush, but any nice soft flat top brush that you can find, if you want really great coverage out of this, just kind of like get the product on the brush, so okay, I can see that everywhere, and then practically stipple it on the areas where you want more coverage, like maybe you're going over your concealer or something like that, and then you can really buff it in all over the rest of your face. But it does a great job, and I've been using this custom coverage buffing brush a lot, especially if I'm just wearing this alone and kind of working it as my light foundation. This brush is really good for getting like maximum coverage out of it. Now for blushes, I've got a couple of favorites. I've just been like a blush fiend lately. Like I cannot get enough of the blush. But one that's really just gotten me lately has been this one from Too Faced, and it's the Peach Beach. I was wearing this in my last video. I've just been reaching for this anytime I want my cheeks to be glowy but yet not overly colorful. I actually reviewed this one and the Something About Berry one when these came out, these new Sweethearts blushes from Too Faced, and this one I remembered saying like I wasn't too struck by it immediately, like I just thought it was going to be some barely there type blush, but it really does show up on me. I use these two shades right here as my blush, and then I'll just use that one as my highlight. So that way I feel like I get a glowy look on the cheeks, but it's not too much, and I can kind of control where this most glowy shade is going. And then the other two kind of combine for something like that, which is still, you know, really pretty, but just more neutral. I remember in my review saying that I liked this product, but it's definitely grown on me over time. So I just love that, and I'm wearing that today, along with the bronzer and the powder that I mentioned. But another blush that I've really become attached to also is my Sleek Blush by 3 in Pink Lemonade. Full review on this as well, but this is a cream blush, and then what makes this really special, like what takes this over the top for me is that it gives you two like separate tones of pink powder blush that you can pair with that cream or use instead of the cream, you know, whatever you want to do. But one of the pinks is more of like a classic like bubblegum pink, and one has more coral to it. So depending on like maybe the lip color you chose, how warm or cool you want your cheeks to be, you've got that option here. So I think it's great for travel. And the quality and textures of these sleek blushes is really, really nice. You know, doesn't take a lot to get the look you're after. And if you do layer powder over the cream, I think the staying power is just absolutely fantastic. So love that. As usual, I've been bouncing around between lots of different eyeshadows lately, but there have been a couple of liners that I've really found myself using consistently. And they are the Rimmel ScandalEyes, and I have them in Nude and Deep Blue. These are the two shades I've been using a whole lot for my lower waterline. Today I have the Nude in there, and pretty much anytime I'm going for a little more wide-eyed look, this is what I use because it's very long wearing for me. It's very brightening. I know I've talked about this technique in the past, I'm sure lots of people have, but our waterlines can tend to, especially if we're a little bit tired, they can look a little bit pink naturally, and that doesn't do much for brightening your eyes. So when you go over that, it's kind of like concealer for your waterline. You know, you go over it with this nude color, and it really widens out the whites of your eyes more, makes your eyes look more wide awake and just bigger too. So I love that nude shade. That's really great. But the deep blue has been a more recent thing for me that I've been loving because this brightens in a whole other way. When I put this deep blue in my waterline, and it's a non-shimmery navy blue. You know, it's not super loud. If you want to see how it comes across, check out my Too Faced a la mode tutorial because I use that there. But it brightens by way of like contrast. When you put this blue and that comes up against the whites of your eye, it makes the whites whiter. It doesn't necessarily make your eyes look like they're open wider because anytime you put something dark in your waterline, you are kind of closing yourself in just a little bit more, but I think the look is so pretty. If you felt like, you know, black maybe looks like too much on you in your waterline, this is funny because it's so close to black, but I feel like it gives a completely different kind of effect to the eye. It just gives a fun little pop of something different, so try that out. Also for lips, a great winter to spring transition color, and it's the Milani Color Statement Lipstick in Pretty Natural. Sometimes I think I mistakenly call this Naturally Pretty, but it's Pretty Natural. It makes you look naturally pretty, but it's a great pink that has a little depth to it. See what I mean here? You know, it's not baby pink. It's not something just really cotton candy-like, but it's got a little bit of depth to it, and I think it's just gorgeous. This cream formula of the Color Statement lipsticks I love so much, and this one was one that was more newly released, like in the early part of 2014. By the way, if you're like a lip product junkie, I devoted a whole video recently to lipsticks that I'm loving a lot right now, but this was one of them, and I think it's just gorgeous. Looks great on like any woman from the richer skin tones to somebody more fair. It's just beautiful. So I'm wearing that today, and I topped it off with something that, well, it could be a favorite. I guess I haven't been wearing this gloss a lot, but I do love this formula. It's the Maybelline Color Statement, and this is the shade Glisten Up Pink. It's kind of a light shimmery pink, so you see how this lipstick would come off normally. You know, not exactly matte, but not super shiny either, so this just gave a little bit of a glow on top of that. Alright, finally folks, just had to run to the bathroom to get this. I am not using dry shampoo anymore, and I don't think I ever will. I know that's a bold statement, but I've got like maybe 5 in my cabinet, and bottom line, none of them do what this does. This is just Johnson's baby powder. It says soothing aloe and vitamin E, pure cornstarch. This is what I will just shake a little bit, not tons, but a little bit into the palm of my hand, work it into my roots when my hair is feeling a little bit oily, a little bit lifeless, and I want to stretch out the time a little bit before another wash. I mean, it just works great. And here's my beef. Here's my issue with a lot of the dry shampoos. They will give me the result I want initially, like right when I put it in and I'm really like going around and doing this, you know, and I'm feeling like, okay, you know, I've got some decent volume now. My hair feels a little bit lighter because my hair really is pretty fine and straight. So it can take on a little bit of oiliness at the roots pretty easily. And so when I use a lot of dry shampoos, initially I'm kind of satisfied with them, but I find that it takes hardly any time at all for my hair to fall back, and it's like ultimately the dry shampoo weighed me down even more. This stuff, I mean, not a big shake, just a little bit in the palm of my hand. I would say, let me show you how much I probably use most of the time. Okay. That's maybe a little more than usual. But I get some of that in and work it kind of onto my hands first, like this, and then get it into my scalp. And at that point, it's like I'm not giving my hair a major white cast because it's not like I just dumped baby powder all over my head. But it seriously has such an effect for absorbing that oil and more of a long-term result for me. Like my hair will feel a lot fresher as a day goes on, as opposed to just feeling light and clean for just a little bit, you know? You've probably got this under your sink right now. Just pull it out next time you need some dry shampoo. I don't care if you're blonde, brunette, whoever, put a little bit of this on and I think you'll find that it's every bit as good as anything else. And I'm not like coming up with some secret of the universe here. I think people did this before the dry shampoo craze really came about. So that is my best in beauty for the month of March. Thank you so much for taking time to watch, and just a little reminder that on my vlog channel I will have my Stuff I Love video going up soon, or maybe it might already be up at the time of this video, I'm not sure, but check over there for just totally random favorites as well as pregnancy updates and things like that. So I appreciate your time and I'll see you guys later. Bye.